I guess when AT&T, what phone service you got?
T-Mobile.
So, all right, so you didn't experience the outage of 2024.
I mean, what? You talking about T-Mobile outage?
Nah, I don't know if T-Mobile. I know AT&T. We had an outage like when it was like last week before last.
Well, I do know T-Mobile just don't be having good service. But as far as complete outage, I feel no. I mean,
yeah, T-Mobile service. So, but I realized upon all the back and forth, all the years, that all the customer service people got something in common.
What?
They always say the same thing. Goodbye for now. I was there driving today. I was like, man, goodbye for now is such a cool way. That is so wavy to tell somebody to get the hell off the phone. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's what I'm at with it right now. I'm like, I ain't even gonna hang up on nobody's face right now. I'm just gonna say, hey, goodbye for now. Goodbye for now, so I don't cuss you out, so I don't get out my body.
No, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah, because it's hard to get me mad. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really got like no anger issues. So
go high.
Yeah, yeah, that sound good to go high. I try to go high most of the time. Go high. You know what I'm saying?
Leave them low.
But sometimes, you just, when they go low, like you want to go down there with the groundhog.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. You want to buck up.
Yeah.
Buck up a little bit.
Give me a dating experience that made you get out your body. And please be vulnerable here at Check Runners. Please.
Okay, let's first define what get out your body mean. Is it in a...
When you do something that's out of the character of normally who you are as a person.
Okay, we're going that route.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And no, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is a safe space. This is very safe space here.
So, I definitely haven't had a lot of long-term relationships, but I've had a lot of short terms that I do remember.
Short term, you say?
Short term.
Slide my chair a little closer.
Situations. I mean, the way I see it, I'm not married, so I don't know, about any ex-boyfriends at this point. But some situations where I was, I lost it.
Tell me about it. Break it down. Let's go into some details. Give me some details.
Well, for one, I remember, and this was when I was like younger. I have to be like teens. And this guy that I was intimate with, I just remember like going by his house unannounced, like looking for like something, but just, coming with some. And at 19, I'm just thinking about like how, when you're in certain situations with a person, like now as a woman, I would never like address another woman in a sense, especially when it comes to like.
So hold up, so what exactly did you do now? Because you kind of like skipped over when you got to the nitty gritty of the story.
I mean,
like you were trying to like. You was walking me there, then you jumped over.
I was just looking crazy.
What you did? Like, you popped up at his house looking for another chick? What?
I mean, it's kind of like, it's like one of those things where you just have like intuition, especially if you're like intimate with a guy. So for me, even though I felt like I had a place or a position with this man when really we were just, but it still was out of like pocket because at the end of the day, like I don't know. It's just like, oh, damn, we can't use that.
Nah, so saying...
But it had me. I mean, it had me.
So you gonna blame that on woman's intuition?
I mean...
So when you popped up at his house, what did you find?
But listen, that's what I'm trying to get to. So women's intuition is what, like, was the ammo of like, okay, that gave me the courage to like go over there. But really it was just yeah, just being young and it's not really being in myself. Like you asked, like, what's the first time you got outside of yourself? Because for me, I'm like, now I look at that situation, I'm like, I'm a lady. Like, first off,
you wouldn't dare do that today.
Nah, I wouldn't pop up on a dude. At the end of the day, like, it's gonna come to me, and I'd rather cut you off and never speak to you again, and make you watch me just grow and glow versus me actually like act a fool. Now, I'm not saying that can't happen once like I'm like probably married or locked in to someone that I want to be with forever. I mean, love do some crazy shit. I'm not about to sit here in front and act like love cannot have you, testing the boundaries of what you would like normally do. So let's like get that clear. But the reality is, it's just like understanding, like when it comes to a person not having your full worth or full commitment, I just don't see a point in like getting riled up at all.
So
it's like overly invested in a situation that you haven't even like locked in.
Out of everything you heard, I'm focused on the women's intuition part. Because women, y'all gotta stop using those little two words, women intuition.
But it's
just say you insecure and you paranoid, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Is it insecure and paranoia when at the end of the day, let me see.
What did you find when you went over this man's house?
I was right. I was right. 99% of the time, we are right. And that 1% be with that one little paranoia when we done lost it. We done had too many or whatever the case might be. But 99% of the time, we be knowing.
So women's intuition told you he had another girl over there.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead on, man. Is it women's intuition or y'all just being nosy?
I mean, like I said, why that day? Why that day? It's just like...
Because think about it. You already said yourself that you acknowledged the fact that you guys were not in an official relationship.
Right.
You was just messing around, having fun, doing what you do.
Yeah.
And you got out your body. So...
happens to the best of us.
Does it happen to the best of us, or it happen to all y'all nosy people? Because it's like, when you go looking for something, you gonna find what you're looking for. I feel like you done went through a couple phones before in your day.
Actually.
In your day, I mean recently.
What's crazy about it, I haven't done the phone thing.
Oh, yeah?
Honestly.
Never.
And let me really think about this.
Yeah, think about it now. Don't come on here lying now. You just signed the contract before we got started, and that contract said you can't lie.
Right. Let me really think about this. Let me be honest. I don't remembering going through a guy's phone because I wasn't really that type to go through a man's phone. I really wasn't. I'd rather talk to the people around you, like, and be like, hey, or not even more so. A lot of times it would come to me. Think about it. It would just come to me. It'll find its way to me. But going through your phone, or I'll be direct. I'm a person that I'm going to question you and I'm gonna ask you certain questions and see if first you gonna admit to me, and then some way, somehow, because I can't keep my mouth shut and you need to know why I'm acting the way I'm acting, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and you're gonna have to explain about it. You're gonna have to say, like,
Have you ever got with a dude, then you met a couple of his friends, and you wish you met the homeboy first?
Yep. Yep.
In that situation, why did you wish you had met his friend first?
Cause he was fine. I'm about to say friend? I'm about to sit here and make a theory out of it. He was fine. Yeah. I thought I was more attracted to the friend.
The whole time? The whole situation?
I mean, especially as like we got deeper into the situation. especially when he annoyed me, it was just like, the friend was just seemed just very enticing. I mean, he was a fine dude to a lot of women. It wasn't just me. He was just one of them fine niggas that was at school. You know what I mean? Fine dude that was at school.
Right.
And, yeah, so I never really like looked at it more than that. But the reality is, if I could have talked to him first before the one I was talking to, then yeah, I would have.
I wonder how often that happens in real life. Because I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm just chilling, and this woman that I'm into, she looking at my homie like, damn, I chose wrong.
I mean, I think it's more so like this. You meet somebody, right? And then this is where the theory was going to come up. So you meet somebody and, y'all attracted to each other and y'all vibing and, you build a nice little like flow together just as far as like keeping things cute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And y'all know that y'all do have deep love, deep admiration, because, I feel like we're in a culture where it's just like, especially opposite sex, it's like we are not supposed to just be able to vibe without having some sort of connection outside of an intimate, relation.
Right.
And, but let's just say y'all have that closeness but there's still like things about this person as you like see them that you're like, okay, I don't necessarily like care for this, or, like, especially when we're younger dating, like we're figuring, the whole point is you don't know if that person's a complete match. Like that's the whole point of dating, being in relationships. So it's like we're testing each other out. We're seeing like where we compatible at. We learning about each other. We growing through seasons and things together. How do we handle and so forth. So it's just like, when you are, seeing that there may be points along the journey where it was good in summer and then spring come around. I mean, well, no, fall comes after spring. So fall comes around and like...
Summer came after spring.
No, I'm saying, well, yeah, you're right. But, so yeah, fall comes around and now you seeing a different season of this person.
Okay.
And, you... see, now he introduced you to this friend who you're like, friends of a feather, birds of a feather flock together. So clearly, if you attracted to your that person that you, started a vibe or a connection with and you see his friend, it's just like, okay, they're going to have similar traits and things that you're attracted to too. Now, if he happens to be, attractive in that sense where it's just like, yeah, like I said, you kind of seen a duplicate of a person that you're already attracted to.
Right.
So now it becomes more enticing. But I mean, truly, the grass is never green on the other side. Personally, as a woman, even though like, I'm not going to lie, I did once, but outside of that, maybe twice. But I wouldn't going forward. Like if I'm like connecting with a guy or even more so if like I know that this guy likes me and we're just, there's been a connection. I'm not going to be looking at his friends just out of respect for the friendship of that person and just for, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if we did have some form of like intimacy.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's just to me not a... Yeah, it's just like, well, there's other groups to go around. I'm not a girl. I don't want to be the girl like you, oh, I had this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You come to me, that's kind of what it's given. But I mean, to each his own.
And with that being said, fellas, watch your homeboys and watch your girl.
Oh my God.
When your partner come around, she probably be around here thinking that your homeboy is her soulmate, dog. You better watch her. Watch him. Every time black dudes get a pit bull, that's all we say. Watch him. It's like we automatically trying to train our pit bulls to be killers. Watch him. But with that being said, let's start this show, man.
Check runners. Check runners.
Watch him.
Check runners.
Hey, man. Welcome to a brand new episode of the biggest podcast in the world, Check Runners Podcast, baby.
Check runners.
I am your favorite cousin at the cookout, Rico Ramiro. And if you can't tell by now, I'm countryer than a bowl of grits, and I love this babe. I got a beautiful soul in the building today, you know, a new co-host. You know, she need to come on through and be the permanent co-host. Cause she giving good co-host vibes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we can interview
co-host vibes.
Yeah, I feel like we'll be able to do great interviews together with a third person in the other seat. And like I can picture us right here and Denzel right there.
And
we like, Mr. Washington. Now on training day when you got shot in your butt.
Ooh.
Was that like, you know what I'm saying? Like asking the real
like
questions.
A team.
Yeah, like teamwork, man.
Team. Okay.
Teamwork. Introduce them to you, to who you are, your essence, queen.
Well,
let them know who you is, the big one and not the little one too. Telling you right now.
Well, my name is Brianna, but a lot of people call me Asul. I am your happy Gemini, and I run a holistic care business called Celestial Goodies, but I also love the arts, and I'm into just holistic living and vibing and, you know, just taking each day and enjoying life, honestly, while also just spreading good vibes and good love to the people.
Good vibes, good vibes. Who doesn't love good vibes, man?
Right.
She's so undeniable already, guys. Right. Isn't she? Isn't she lovely? I appreciate you coming on here, man. You know,
I'm grateful to be here.
Kicking it with the kid, man.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get all up in your business, though, let's get to some of these topics. You know, some of these people some of these people want to hear us chime in on some of these shenanigans going on in the culture.
Just be ready, y'all.
Let's start with this right here. I'm trying to figure this out. Why can't Drake go on a private date in peace without somebody recording him? You know, because Drake just went viral again because he allegedly went on a private date with Mulatto's younger sister, 21-year-old sister. And the person that recorded him coming in with her sister was obviously like an off-duty worker. So I'm like, why can't this man just go mess with his little 22, 21-year-old little vibe in peace, man? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Drake like them young girls, man. That's nothing new.
Right.
But my whole thing is like, you ain't gotta record this man coming up in here, man. Like, damn, can I just come in here and order me a couple egg rolls and some shrimp fried rice?
I mean, it's kind of like that's what he signed up for, one. Right. But you know, people out here, you know, we live in a culture, a society where everything is being recorded. Everything is, especially if you got clout. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's so, you know, invading, especially I'm sure for Drake. Like, he's just like, damn. But I mean, it comes with it. And it's just, you got to accept it for what it is. So, you know, if anything, you should have had like a private, I don't know, walkthrough. I don't know. You got to get creative. But I mean, that's how people are. They're going to be invasive. They're going to want to know what's going on. If they could see what's going on and they know they could share with this person, that person. I mean, it's a little sickening if you ask me, because I don't keep up with it. But, you know, that's just what the world be doing. And
I hate that for us right now, you know, living in this era, because it's like, nothing is private anymore. Nothing is intimate anymore. You know, like 10 years ago, you can sneak up in the restaurant with your little fine little 21-year-old girlfriend and when nobody know. But in 2024, everybody gonna know about your little fine little 21-year-old girlfriend. And they was trying to eat my boy Drake up in the comments too. Like, why Drake messing with a 21-year-old? Come on, man. Do y'all listen to Drake music, man? Every album, this man.
I mean, she's grown. I mean, well, I'm gonna say this.
She's a consenting adult.
She's a consenting adult, exactly. And you know, that's her experience, and that's his experience. I don't think anyone should be judging what age she is or however the case might be. You know, you don't know what agreement they got going on, and it's not for you to know if you're not in it. That's my thing,
right? And that's Drake. That's Drake bag, man. I can play 3-4 Drake songs right now that telling you most of the chicks he deal with be from 21 to 26. You know what I'm saying?
He done told y'all.
And ain't nothing wrong with that, you know, because once again, these are consenting adults.
Consenting women.
You know, consenting. When you were in your, how old are you right now? 26.
Oh,
how old are you?
That makes me feel so good. Ooh,
I forgot how old you were.
That was.
Oh,
nice.
you about to be? Oh, you knocking on that door?
That was really nice.
How old are you?
You said 26. I'm 30.
Okay. Oh, you
about
already
31.
You already done walked through the door. Okay. Now you went. When we met, you was knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
So when we met, you were like 28 when we first met, right? I think.
No, I was 29.
Yeah, we met on a humbug too, like at the airport at 5 a.m. in Fort Lauderdale. Mm-hmm. That was like super humbug, man. And we was just catching the vibe. And we skipped the line at Starbucks and and you recorded a video for me. We got some content together.
I did. I was your videographer.
You was my videographer.
I did.
So guys, if y'all ever stumble across my page and it's a video of me acting like I'm crying, walking through the airport, this is the young lady that recorded that video. And I play it to the song I always use is Tony Braxton Unbreak My Heart.
I remember that song was in my head for like 2 weeks, yo. Just because I kept watching that video. It was so funny. It was hilarious.
So this is the original Dundada right here, man. But yeah, like I can pull up mad songs with Drake telling y'all, this how I get down. This is my bag. And like I say, people always want to, when it's a man, an older man, dating a woman in her early 20s, it's a problem. But y'all ain't say nothing when now y'all starting to see like the opposite side of that coin with Draya Michelle dating that little 22-year-old basketball player. And I ain't gonna get into that just yet. Now I ain't gonna talk about that just yet.
That's where you was going.
Hold on, we ain't gonna go there just yet.
Okay.
But damn, man, I don't care how big of a celebrity a person is, man. Like, man, give people their privacy, man. That's just like when Mariah the Scientist went to see Young Thug in the visitation room and the little viral sound going around when she's like, "Daddy, am I your baby?" And Daddy, am I your baby?
Right. Leave my girl Mariah alone.
Like, come on, man. That girl ain't want to. Y'all know y'all wasn't supposed to hear that, man. Y'all dead wrong for recording them folks, man. So it's like, man, I just wish we can get back to a place of privacy. I guess it's gonna be hard though at the same time now that I think about it, because everybody always tell all their business online.
That's true. I mean, if you're transparent and you're able to like that's part of being an influencer life. You're being very transparent about what you have going on so that people can actually relate and connect to you. But I mean, still within that, there's still like private aspects that, one does keep to themselves. It just seems like a lot of us, for me, it's the intention. You know what I mean? Because if, you want some people to know certain aspects about you because this is where you connect or find a community or whatever the case, that might be one thing. But if you're doing shit just for attention, which is what a lot of people who are on the internet are doing, they trolling, they worried about what everybody else got going on, but they really don't have their own staple in themselves. Their attention is going to everybody.
Right.
Pay attention. Like that's what they paying for is attention. And for me, that's why like meditation and just practices, self-care practices have really taught me how to like dismiss all of that and really just be you. Like decide how you want to connect to people. Use the platform for what it's for. It's for us to connect. You know what I'm saying? So, those people who are just like, commenting, doing what they ding. I mean, for them it's entertainment, but there are real people behind the screen. Yeah. And I think people forget that. We just be like, just saying what I want to say. Like, it's crazy to me, especially when I look at like Nicki Minaj and how people would say things like underneath her comments. I'm like, you do know, like, this woman is like a real woman behind here. And not just her, but, a lot of celebrities out here who are big. And it's just like, they don't even know them. They don't even connect with them or anything like that. And then, we don't know these people.
At all.
You ain't hanging with them.
At all.
Period. So, I mean, I'm just wishing for like the younger babies, they learn like to tap into what's real. Nobody be going outside anymore like that. As far as like, getting back to nature is my wish, because then they'll be able to like differentiate between like, having that privilege to just have access to anybody just because you see them online versus actually like connecting and using it for a network and what it should be, Yeah.
What you feel like the worst kind of addiction to get over?
The worst?
Yeah.
I mean,
I had a sex addiction
I was about to say,
at a point in my life. And
it gotta be between drugs and sex.
Yeah, like I had a terrible sex addiction. Like to the point like...
Addiction?
Oh, damn. Sex addiction. So I was addicted to threesomes for like a couple years in my life.
Oh, okay.
And it was hard as hell to get that out my system. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where, and I spoke about this before on like some previous episodes, to the point where it was damn near impossible for one woman to please me. Like the only way I could be satisfied with, engaging with one woman, I would have to imagine another woman was there with us. So I tell people all the time, I tell like my cousins, like whoever, anybody that I come across and they say they never had a threesome, I'd be like, hey bro, if you haven't had one, don't have one. Because it can lead to like a serious addiction, bro. Like that was like my crack.
Woo!
Like it was like I had to have two women at one time. It provided certain types of feelings for me. It made me feel like a king. It made me feel like
Big Daddy.
Yeah. Hey, my mama, I'm Big Daddy. What you talking about?
Right. The man.
Big Daddy in the building. Yeah. Because it just felt good. Just like, and it's like, when you orchestrate in a threesome, man, you feel like the maestro in front of the orchestra with the little stick. We like, da, 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 da.
Not the conductor.
Yeah, you just feel like the conductor.
Oh.
When he waved his stick over there and all the trumpets play. He waved his stick over there. All the clarinets play.
So you had trumpets and clarinets.
Man, you got to bring your trumpets and your clarinets together, man. And that's just how I felt, man. I felt like I had a little jacket and everything, man.
Ooh, not with the frills.
Man, for real. So it just came to me. I feel like, for me, in my personal opinion, I feel like that's one of the worst addictions to get over? You know, what kind of addiction you ever had in your life that you had to get over?
I'm gonna do the most obvious. For me, it was weed.
Okay.
It was weed.
Why was it weed?
Because while I do believe in like the healing aspects of, you know, the plant, it's a beautiful plant. I definitely do think that there is an abuse that goes in if you become too reliant. And I think that's on anything, period, you know, when you define what addiction is. But yeah, it was to the point where like I'm just smoking just to be smoking, like, and thinking like it's maintaining my mood or like keeping me like calm. And really and truly, it was just a habit, a matter of habit.
Yeah.
And yeah, that had me sometimes too lax on certain aspects when I needed to like pipe up, and definitely led me into a lot of curious spaces. But at the same time,
as, what are those?
You know, just curious spaces.
Like what?
Just curious spaces.
Like what? We love to hear about curious spaces here.
I'm sure. Just curious.
What were you curious about?
I was definitely curious about different lifestyles.
Such as?
Like, well, at 18, I started working at strip clubs. I was waitressing, bartending.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was always...
Don't be trying to cover up your face now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I have no shame in my game. It was one of
y'all see her trying to cover her face up.
Stop it. It was one of the most...
I was in the strip club. Let me try to cover your face up, man.
It was definitely one of the most...
What were you doing in there? You said you was waitressing?
Waitressing, bartending, you know, just connecting, making my money, trying to make my money.
Did you ever dance?
Nah, I was teaching dance, like in real life. So, like,
okay.
I was, you know, teaching kids. And the thing was, like, I saw, like, a couple of my parents in the club. So I already knew that was, like, it was a no. It was a no. So, but I did get asked a few times. And
you mean parents, like the parents of the kids you were teaching?
Yeah.
What kind of dancing you were teaching the kids?
Hip hop.
There you go. Clarify that, because somebody might hear that and be like, "Hold on, what? She what?" Like, yeah, say that. Yeah.
Hip hop. Yeah, okay. I was teaching. Oh.
Yeah, cause
yeah. Okay, no, I was teaching hip hop jazz classes to children. Okay. Yeah. And during the day. So, you know, I worked the clubs at night, and I saw a couple of my parents. They were there, and I was like, oh, okay. You can't switch over to this side. You know, I'm gonna separate the arts of it. But I do admire like pole artists. I like to call them pole artists, you know, and dancers, you know, especially in the erotic scene. You know, I love, especially coming from Caribbean culture, to move my body freely, and, you know, feeling sexy and into yourself is nothing to me, or at least.
Are you flexible?
I mean, if you a dancer, most dancers are flexible. That's the whole art of it.
Can you like sit down where you at now and like pull your leg all the way up type stuff? Can you do that? You know how to do that?
I got my tricks.
Show us some.
We do yoga.
Show us. Let me see some yoga stuff.
Please.
Let me see some yoga stuff.
Nah,
ain't nobody ever did no yoga stuff on here before.
I'm sure they haven't.
Come on.
When I'm about to do a split across the table in front of this chair, this chess piece. Hey, when I'm about to tree pose.
What's a tree pose?
3 feet underneath the light.
Just show me some kind of flexibility.
You got me tripping.
Just show me any kind of flexibility, yoga style. Come on, man. Show me some yoga stuff, man. Show me some
but for real though, if y'all really do want to get some good yoga in Atlanta, y'all gotta check out my girl, Janelle. She also goes by the name Casanova on Instagram, and she does teach yoga for free every Wednesday at 6:30 at 333 Peter Street. You know, y'all can definitely check her out in Atlanta.
She ain't want to show us a yoga move,
what
y'all.
You mean? You got the experts doing it. Leave it to
remember
the
that little
experts.
sound
See,
from the
you gotta
cartoons?
stay in your lane.
Y'all remember that little sound from the cartoon back in the day? Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I thought you were finna like put a leg up right there by your eardrum. I was about to, but my mind was about to be blowed in here, man.
Nope. Wah, wah,
So we might be losing TikTok. We might be losing TikTok, Bree. Are you a TikTok user like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I plan to get into it.
So Congress
More.
has got together and they talking about putting a ban on TikTok. I don't know for what reasons. I don't know. But Joe Biden himself says he will sign the bill that will ban TikTok in the U.S. If they pass it, he'll sign it. And I'm trying to figure out how would that affect, TikTok users, because I hear some good money on TikTok, but I never heard nobody be like, hey, like I done heard mad people be like, hey, I'm getting this money over here on Facebook, I'm getting this money over here on YouTube, and you know what I'm saying? It's like people be saying they get money on TikTok, but I ain't seen it though, you know what I'm saying? So let how you feel like TikTok being obsolete will affect us as a culture?
I definitely think that TikTok feeds a lot of people.
Right.
And it feeds it in a way where attention. They may not be going directly from TikTok, but the attention and the way that the numbers can go on TikTok, is way more easier to go viral on TikTok now than with Instagram and Facebook, because they done put so many like different algorithms and stuff together, that like, ain't nobody can really, you gotta push hard with it,
right.
in a sense, or, connect in order to like grow new access to new audiences, let's say, more so. But on TikTok, it's a free algorithm. So you have a lot of creators, and it's more fun as far as like people connect to you more because you're able to have a certain level of creative freedom,
right.
Especially if you're more into like giving out messages and like just keeping your audience engaged visually without having to just be worried about just the aesthetic, which is like the style of like Instagram. And then you got Facebook where, people have this, it's like the community club, like
right.
of social media. You get what I'm saying? Where if you have a good following, you'll be able to like, eat off of that. But for the most part, TikTok is just like free for all, like open party. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to hurt a lot of content creators and influencers and, people who like sell their items. I have my store. I do holistic care. I know I mentioned that before, where I have, plant-based hair removal, toners, rose waters, oils, and things like that, where I want to get out to the public.
Right.
And I want to show them with not just from a commercial standpoint where I'm like selling them. I want you to see like how my product is on people, how it's being used, how it feels, the results. Like people get a lot of like, see how it's done. TikTok can be very it's turned into the new educational free like platform. Like I said, they haven't over restricted it in the same way that they have like, or I'm going to say over restrict. I'm going to say stabilized it.
Okay.
The way that they've done with like Instagram and Facebook. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a little bit, but I don't see them closing that down. Like I said, TikTok also has allowed a lot of more information to come out in a way where, like, if they want to be nosy, they can get, they can get it. Type of vibe is I don't see them wanting to cut something completely that is so. It's everybody making money. Feel like that. Everybody making money. I don't see it.
Man, you killed that. I ain't even gonna lie. No. Drop a bomb for you on that one. Cause you killed that little segment right there. Like, I ain't even got too much to add on to that. But all I'm gonna say, like, TikTok been catching hell as of late, because not too long ago they got into it with the record labels about the music rights and all that. So now they talking about getting banned in the US altogether, and it sound like somebody didn't cut the check somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it sound like.
Somebody got
That's
pissed
what it
off.
sound like.
Now I don't know TikTok. I don't know who y'all that made mad.
That's what it sound like.
But I suggest you go ahead and make good.
Make up.
Big dog, I don't know who on TikTok over there. Now, she added the more concise, intelligent reply to this topic. I'm going to add like my hood perspective to it right quick. My boy, I'm going to need you to go ahead and cut that check, big dog.
That's basically...
Hey, go ahead.
That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah, that I already know it's a money thing, man. Because out of all the years, the U.S. been privy to, using TikTok, this app, and all of a sudden, two major changes just happen all of a sudden.
Right.
That's no coincidence, man. Somebody got mad. That's some political stuff, that's above my pay grade. But that's all. I'm gonna leave it right there. You know what I'm saying? That's above my pay grade, man. But you killed it. I am impressed on how well you spoke on that subject. You speak with so much passion.
I'm a Sag moon and a Venus in Aries. I know you like, what does this astrology mean? Well, it means that your girl be with the passion.
Passionate, huh? Name 3 things that you feel that for sure you're passionate about in your life.
Movement in the body, like dance, yoga, form, shape, sculpture. So like the bodies, definitely. One thing I'm passionate about in learning more ways about the body. Another thing I'm passionate about. Holistic living.
Okay.
Like being healthy. I really am passionate about it. I know because it sends down to like, if you feel good, you gonna want to do good. And it's like, and when I say do good, it's not a standard of how society says do good. It's like, what feels for you? What's good for you? I'm really passionate about like people living healthy in a space of being themselves, and that allows you to spread love in whatever that way is, Right. And then another thing I'm really passionate about is like sensuality, like expression of, just expression, especially like feminine like expression. So when that comes to like, exotic art or, sexuality, things like that, I think it's so, it's like the beauty to life. I'm really into opening those gates and learning more about them, Yeah.
When it comes to you being a business owner, do you feel like you came across men that were kind of intimidated about or just not so supportive or felt like they was in competition with you because of your business goals and the things you have in mind for your future?
I want to say I don't think they're intimidated by the fact that I'm business oriented. I don't think it's more so intimidation. I think it's realizing that like maybe I have a standard and whether or not they are able to reach that in a way where like I'm so headstrong on like what I want for my future as far as like, especially when it comes to having children and wanting to like build family. There's like a certain structure that I'm not just settling for. I don't want to work when I get pregnant. I want to be able to have that freedom. So I'm doing it for myself first in a sense. And I feel like a lot of men actually admire that about me, but I do feel like it may feel intimidating too because I don't give I need you because I'm working like I'm, type of vibe. I don't give that off. I'm like, I'm going to be able to take care of myself. However, I do appreciate the fact that a man can take care of me and I'm open to that, but I'm just not letting any man take care of me because I feel like, like that should be a choice that I genuinely want to make, that I'm like really in alignment with, because I'm a person that once I'm like in with somebody, I'm in, like, you my friend, you my, like, we learning all these different aspects of ourselves together. We going on journey. You my partner. And that's where I'm currently at in life. Like, I did the 20s where I allowed myself to explore and choose different, like, situations. And I met a lot of different guys that I'm like grateful, for the time and the lessons that we've had. But from having, different food on the plate, I kind of know what I want to eat now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just it's been one of those things that now I'm like, I've always been like a boss type of like woman, as far as always been in my own lane and went after the things that I love. Now I feel like I'm now at a stage where I'm actually doing it with more precision and in a way that's going to build something that's going to be like a legacy that's going to last. And especially a lot of people who are around me, they can see that, and they see that I have that like momentum, and I'm willing to put it in to go there, But I feel like as a man, if you have to be just as like passionate about what you want in your life, because I'm going to make sure I hit my goals to create a certain lifestyle for my children. I don't want to live in this country forever. I want to live overseas and, be able to travel, but also be able to give back and help, because I know the lifestyle that I've been able to create for myself, especially living holistic. I'm realizing a lot of us are, stuck in certain cycles because we're not in naturally healthy environments or healthy habits. So if I can contribute, especially to communities, and give back what I was given for me to feel great about life, then like, I'm going to do that.
Now, give me a situation in your life where you dealt with a dude that was intimidated about your motion.
Okay. I'm like I said, I don't gonna go into straight intimidation, but that may have felt like not cared for. Well, maybe it was intimidation. But okay. Being a business owner, of course, like when it comes to phone calls and when it comes to just having to be in constant communication, you don't necessarily just have time to just leisurely talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And especially if like we haven't gone out like that, like we just getting to know each other, like, yeah, like, there should be like a nice little flow, especially, I just respect my time, respect my space as a person first. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm not just available just for anything. And I don't ever want a person to like think that.
Right.
So, but there's this guy who's like really cool, and like it's like started off with just like, let's just get to know each other. Like, I have something to offer for your company. Let's help each other out type of vibe, right? Mm-hmm. And it went to like, okay, we could hang out, go out for the gym or something like that. And after that, like I didn't keep up with it. I was just a person that was like, staying in my lane and, hit you and talk to you when, when the time convenes. And it seemed like he just felt like, I don't have time for, I could just feel the vibe that he didn't feel like I had time for him. And it's not that I don't have time. It's just a matter of like, I'm just not going to waste time. And the time does need to be beneficial to like what we doing, what we got going on. And that's why I think like it comes off like they might be intimidated or just feel away or however they feel away about it. But if intimidation is going to be the word, then, yeah.
Okay.
But niggas, I mean, y'all, they be hating, you know what I'm saying? They have like, and men, I want to say, they don't be hating. Let me not say they be hating. They're more in the competitive nature than a woman is. At least a real woman. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like any man that just sees you like doing the flow outside of him, especially,
right,
he might feel like, oh, okay, I got, she doing her thing, like, like an equal, almost in a sense.
Right.
So it's like it doesn't give you the upper hand knowing that like, okay, you can't just come to a female like me and expect me to just like be available and present for you just because, just because I'm here.
Damn. Speaking of wasting time, man. Oh man, I hate to report this type of news, man. Oh damn, wrong thing. Oh man. Speaking of wasting time, your girl Christina Mackey, man, she probably feel like she wasted her time with Rick Ross, man.
Don't do
they
that.
done officially broke up, man.
Don't do that.
No. Damn it, man.
No.
It's over, man.
No, don't do that.
I wish
No
I had
way.
some theme music for you, Christina. Damn it, man. I was rooting for you for a little bit until you started doing like interviews and talking about all the ex-chicks and stuff, but you kind of played yourself, man. But yeah, man, Christina Mackey and Rick Ross are officially broke up after 6 months, man. Damn it, man. Black love, another loss for black love, man. So let me read this statement that Christina put out. And you let me know how you feel about this statement and the whole 6 months. Are you familiar with the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm
great.
versed.
So this is what Christina Mackey says, guys. And you can call me a chatty patty all you want, but hey, this for content, man. You know, man, as black men, we can't do nothing no more. We can't do nothing, man. He gossiping. Man, he can't do nothing. Club Shay says that made all that money doing Cat Williams. They still talking about that man. So it's like,
yeah, that was a great.
But that's a side.
That was a great show.
Yeah, but that's a side note. How y'all just black everything black men do now. We gay. Let y'all tell it. So it's like, man, y'all gotta give it up, man. On like we live in a society where it's actually cool to be gay. So y'all gotta stop throwing gay rumors on everybody, man. But anyway, side note, Miss Christina had something to say, man. Do I got audio? Let me see if I got some good audio, man. I think I got some audio. Here we go.
Talk too much, a lot of and I realize that some people think I talk too much. A lot of think where they want to be financially, and that's why they be taking jabs at other people. These little comments don't pay my bills. It would be different if they did. I might be kissing y'all's ass. You know what I mean? Bills are way too high. I'm just being myself. Like, I'm not hurting nobody. I've never spoke ill of anybody, ever. And I won't ever. It's not my vibe. I know the beauty of karma. I really know the beauty of karma. So I'll never speak ill of anyone. Why so heavy? Why so evil? Why so dark? You know, like, people say money can't buy happiness, but a lot of people where they want to be financially, and that's why they be taking jabs at other people. And I'm not where I want to be. But
I'm like, okay.
And then
Okay, so she didn't. It sounds like she's kind of hurt right there. So let me read the statement she put out. Let me put out the statement she put out, man. Because she was basically just saying how she being attacked. She was basically just saying how she being attacked right there. So let me read this statement.
Okay.
I never experienced getting left. For hold on. No. You just got left, baby. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna read this with a serious face. Okay. I never experienced getting left. I'm just not docile. Whatever that means. I don't feel played. The sales on MackeyBody.com are thriving, and I'm grateful. The situation was beautiful, and I meant every word during our amazing 6-month run. If others are upset about our joy / pride in the moment, that's their stress to bear. We had a clean breakup 2 weeks ago, and I never pretended to be the last. I embrace both positive and negative traction with love, and no, I won't be appearing on anyone's podcast. No.
Your invitation was denied.
Shouty, no. You could have kept this little statement for a couple of reasons. One, she played herself through the whole 6 months of their relationship. once it's like soon as Rick Ross, cause I've been following this. Soon as Rick Ross posted their picture, it's like non-stop. Shorty was just like posting every location they had. That's a no-no. Like you would it was she was just doing way too much in this relationship, man. You know what I'm saying? And for her to, she hurt whenever you gotta mention like your sales on your website doing good. You know what I'm saying? That's like the counter, like, hey, I'm getting money. Yeah. Y'all broke, but I'm getting money. That's black folk defense mechanism for everything. Yeah. I got
Slap
dead
you
wrong,
with some cash.
but I'm getting money. You need to get some money. You broke reading this. How you feel about, this type of situation where Christina Mackey got with somebody like a Rick Ross, and the whole time all she did was just, every day was just talk. And she dissed all the old ex-girlfriends, man. Now she looking crazy. So speak on that from a female perspective. Well, and tell me how you would have played it after you speak on it. If you bagged.
Well, when you mean play it as in how?
How you would you approach the situation if you bagged a Rick Ross or someone of a Rick Ross level?
Oh, okay.
But speak on, that situation first, then tell me how you would have played it.
I got you. Well, I mean, I'm going to keep it cute about it. At the end of the day, like, she had a moment to be open with her relationship, and she shared a lot of her relationships, so that invited a lot of people in her relationship. But, I just... dating Rick Ross, I mean, he just seemed to be a more like private dude. I will say that. So, it was kind of interesting seeing that dynamic together. But hey, I mean, if it were, like you say, if it make people happy, clearly he was into it for a season, for a reason. But, as far as like, bringing other women and things like that into the picture, like once again, I mean, there's just some things that just aren't called for, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like women, love can take women by the throat sometimes, where they're just like in the flow and not knowing and having those boundaries, because I mean, they might be, so, I like that drama, they like that attention, like, and that's cool. And, for, to each its own. But like I said, now we're going to come back to like, if, I'm dating a Rick Ross or, that standard of a man, like, I'll be honest, I ain't telling nobody. First off, one, because a man like that got a lot of situations going on. Like, as far as like, he is a community man.
Right.
He serves his community. It doesn't mean that he's intimate with everybody, but there is a community that he has. And, as a woman, I'm just like, let me focus on what we got and where we at, and really be present with a man like that. You could learn a lot from Rick Ross, I would definitely want to like connect and have like a friendship where we just really getting to know each other, like, and vibing out. I mean, who knows how long they known each other before they actually started dating, unless you know.
Right. I don't know.
Right. So they could have built that friendship, but I mean, to go like in a relationship with someone who has especially a lot of interactions with women, I would want to like seal my foundation, you know what I'm saying? Right. A little more with a person like that. One, two, he already got so much going on in the media. I feel like as a woman, especially when you love a man, part of your duty is to like hold down his sensitive areas. Right. And at the end of the day, him loving you is clearly like a sensitive area for him. So he already got to deal with, his work being out, his music, just people being people, you know what I'm saying? Just from his status of a person. So by you adding now his love life and giving somebody another storybook to read, it's just kind of giving like, I'm pretty sure that man got a lot on his plate. He don't need to be worrying about that now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm sure he's also built a code up to this point where, like, he probably don't give a crap about none of it, but still, nobody want to be hearing that in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Your mama call you like, oh, so you broke up with that girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody would want to deal with that. So yeah, dealing with that type, you know, and then yeah, I think that'll be the most important parts of dealing with a person like that. Everything else is for fun.
And I'm gonna say this, man. This all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave this alone, man. Man, sometimes y'all gotta learn to just be quiet, man. Just be low.
True.
Like, social media doesn't have to know your every move, man.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? And it was super sloppy over there, man. Like, shorty, like, tag everywhere they go, man. I knew where Rick Ross was at every day, damn near. You know what I'm saying? That's not good,
be somebody on that level, and then you see these niggas these men getting shot out here.
Yeah,
like,
man.
No.
Like she made that man too accessible. I remember I was on Rick Ross' story, or I seen her story one day. Just over there seeing what's going on, being nosy. And they had just arrived at Rick Ross' crib in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area or whatever. And I'm like thinking to myself, I should know that Rick Ross just got home.
Right.
Like I should.
Yeah, you don't know if he was trying to. Yeah.
And then like when they first got together, Shorty did a whole podcast because people was online and talking about her, and she we ain't got what they got. This something different right here. We live together and whoop the whoop whoop, man. And it's like you really setting yourself up for failure, man, when you go online and make these type of statements, man. So it's like, I hope she learned the lesson, because Rick Ross is not going to be like the last millionaire she get. You know what I'm saying? I just hope she don't, become one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just hope her next, high profile boyfriend, she just be super low, and hopefully she learned the lesson from this.
Keep it to, I don't have to say keep it to herself. I think it's beautiful to share love, but it's just like no one should know every details of what you got going on.
Oh man.
I mean, and it's beautiful that, she's passionate clearly about this man. I mean, she lives a very social life, but at the same time, like I said, it's protection for him and her. And my thing is, if you want anything to last for real, you gotta like treat that thing like a pot, like a plant. You know what I'm saying? Let that soil grow in, and make sure you got good, fertilizer and a good seed. But look how long it takes for like you to see a plant. I mean, see fruit off of a tree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The seed got to do its whole thing down in the ground, got to sprout up, all of this. So it's just like, that's the relationship in the plant. Then think about like your relationship with a person. If you really want to see the fruit of that relationship, you're gonna let time flow, and you're not gonna just be so open about it to involve people, because it gives room, in between what y'all got.
Right.
I do hope that they are able to, still have a level of love for each other, and benefit each other in a way that's mutually good for them. But this was a learning lesson on both parts. And who knows, they may be back at it in a couple months. Like, especially when you got public relations online. One day they be mad, next day they're together. Like, who knows what's going to happen. But in the meantime, we know what we want for ourselves. Like, we want to make sure we actually building something that nobody can get into. Period.
True. Yeah, man. So, hey, all y'all young girls out there, man, in y'all 20s and y'all 30s, trying to, because I see that's like the number one mission these days. Everybody want a millionaire. Everybody want a boss. Everybody want a rich dude. So, let's learn from our good sister Christina Mackey, man, on this situation. And just be low. Just be low, man. Now, I hate that I even got to speak on this, man, but before I even start this, let me lead with love. Congratulations to the queen, Miss Draya Michelle, formerly of Basketball Wives, and she's expecting a new bundle of joy. She has a bun in the oven, but that bun in the oven just so happened to be by a 22-year-old NBA star. What is this guy's name? So I can report this with a little Jalen Green. She is pregnant by Jalen Green. I don't know who Jalen Green played for. I'm not a sports guy, but I'm quite sure if you listen to this, you have an idea who Jalen Green is. If not, hey, go on over there. Google is your friend, bro. Google is your friend. Now, Draya is in the news right now because Draya is a 40-year-old woman and Jalen Green is a 22-year-old young guy, you know, and it's looking kind of crazy because out of all the people in Draya's age group, people are trying to figure out why would she go get knocked up by a 22-year-old basketball star. I know the answer, but just for entertainment purposes, we got to talk about it. How do you feel about this, Queen?
It could have been an accident.
But why is she even messing with this 22-year-old for it to even be an accident?
He's illegal. He's legal age.
And don't get me wrong. And I hate to be the double standard guy.
My question is, when y'all do it, it ain't no issue. But when we do it,
it's a huge issue when we do it.
It's not an issue.
It's always an issue.
Y'all get away with it all the time.
Marcus,
y'all be 20 years, 30 years older than your girl.
I literally just spoke on how they was tearing Drake apart for dating the 21-year-old, Lotto 21-year-old sister.
Yeah.
They was eating him up.
Because it's someone who's like known, and that's different. And everybody know Drake. He be on a different vibe. But what I'm saying is, you don't know what was going on where, you know, people can enjoy who they want to have. And the same thing we said with Drake, like, people can enjoy their thing. So it could have just been where it just happened that she got, you know, locked up in it. You know, Drake could walk out. He ain't got no, you know, or at least we don't know any baby on the way. But yeah, she got locked in a certain, you know, extent.
Let's call a spade right quick.
We don't know.
Go ahead.
Nah, because we don't know what her intention was. We don't know if she really was going for that, or, I mean, look, either way, that's what she was riding, and that's what she chose to ride, and we just gotta accept that that's what she wanted to ride. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he shot his shot and he didn't miss.
So you don't feel like this predatory. Like, you don't feel like this predatory at all.
I mean, I don't think it's wise, but I mean, it's not like y'all are completely idiots. At the end of the day, he shot his shot and he didn't miss.
I feel that, but it's like, come on, let's call a spade right here, man. Shorty obviously doing damn bad right now. That she had to, you telling me this beautiful 40-year-old woman could not find nobody in her age group, nobody to have this same type of situation with and to settle down with and to love and have that type of healthy, dynamic relationship with. She had to go straight. She had to skip all the 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds and go straight to this young guy.
I feel like she's had her relationships where she did experience those loves, but this may be a phase of her life where she want to try something different.
Come on, man. Let's just be real, man. Shorty seen an easy come up.
At the end of the day, he shot his shot. We gonna stop playing.
And he shot his shot, and she saw an easy come up. They add that in there.
It takes two. At the end of the day, this boy should know from the day he playing ball to carry his fortune well. If no man know that, then he shouldn't be playing ball and he shouldn't have the dough to play with. Period. I mean, it sucks. I do realize that a lot of people be fumbling, clearly. But at the end of the day, like, yo, we in 2024. We got so many of these events have happened where these boys know. He knew what he was doing, just the same way, like, you know, whatever the case might be. Now, it'd be different if, you know, he's denying the baby or whatever. If they happy together and they showing that they willing to work out that relationship, whatever agreement, let that be.
Right.
Let that be.
So you don't feel
old
like
enough. He ain't a baby. Ain't nobody like wiping his chin. He old enough to know like science.
So you don't feel like that was just an easy mark for her.
I mean, it probably was, but
ain't no probably was about it. That just was an easy lick.
But
cause this young guy don't. It like he 22 years old. He playing with M's. He playing with millions, and he got a beautiful, experienced woman like Draya come through the door. She already know. The flavor she was kicking. It wasn't working on the guys her age no more. So she probably sat down weeks strategizing this, and just can't. And it's just the light. She had a light bulb moment. It's like in the cartoon when a light bulb come over their head. A light bulb came over Draya Michelle's head at some point in her life. It was probably around the time that their mortgage was due for her crib, or their rent was due wherever she lived at, and she was like, "You know what? I gotta get me one of these little young guys out here. They don't know."
So you think it was a plot and plan?
Man, come on, bro. That was properly. Come on, man. I don't believe in coincidences, especially when it comes to this.
We didn't say it was a coincidence, but what I'm saying is
that I ain't saying she grooming.
Are we not saying? I mean, grooming.
I'm not even saying she grooming them.
That's a big word. That's a big word.
I'm not even saying.
Big word.
I'm not even going to the. I'm not even going to throw the grooming Uno card out on the table. I'm just gonna say she was looking for a lick. She was looking for an easy come up. Somebody she can manipulate. Somebody she can bring in to her web. And she saw this guy Jalen Green, and she said, "Oh yeah." Got him! No. Got me one.
I mean, I wouldn't do a 22, but
because you ain't finna sit in here and tell me you are head over heels in love with this 22-year-old boy. What the hell y'all got to talk about, Draya? Come on, man.
But why had to be in a love thing? Why couldn't it just been like a?
We know it wasn't a love thing. You right? I agree. We know it wasn't a love thing.
But clearly.
It was a money thing. And she get to the bag. I'm tell you, man, their mortgage was due. And she had to make some hard decisions. I'm telling you, man, this was not coincidence. Shorty was like a real predator on this. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This was super predatory to me. I feel you out on all that girl power you talking over there. Yay, girl power.
No, I mean, I'm not taking away the fact that her motives could have been not sincere and pure. I'm not taking that away at all, actually. I'm not speaking for her in that sense. What I'm just saying is looking at it from a different perspective of where did she really come from? It could have been one of them situations. Like I said, we can't just, excuse me, it takes two. And at the end of the day, we could look at her, but it's 2024. Like, if these boys don't know by now, I mean, come on now. Like, that, I ain't gonna say he deserve it, but it's just like, man, you gotta tighten up. You need to tighten up. Was you just dropping your seed anywhere? If that's the case, why you just dropping your seed anywhere? Like, you don't care about your seed? Like, clearly. So they do got a lesson to learn with that. You know, if that's the case. But like I said, it could be genuine. He could be mature. He could know what he want. He could know that, and maybe it's a relationship that work. I mean, you see, like I said, you see it a lot other times where, a guy who's 20 years younger will marry a younger girl.
Right.
They last. Their marriage, their relationship lasts. I do feel like, it could happen the opposite way around too, but we don't know what's the real gist of it. But put like this. Time gonna tell.
I feel like this about to start a whole new trend now. All the little 40, 50-year-olds about to find them a little 20-something-year-old victim and get knocked up. Bless you. About to go to the doctor and check them eggs out and everything. Like, yeah, man. So I'm gonna leave that right there, man. All I'm gonna say is, hey, man, it's just crazy. And dude, mama is not happy about that either.
I'm sure not.
I ain't got the statement pulled up, but I seen she made a statement earlier, man. Like she is not baby. She not feeling that at all,
she's
man.
Trying to protect him at all costs, but
facts.
You know what I'm saying? He gotta grow into being a man and knowing, like, being more responsible in that case. If it wasn't something that was intentionally to happen, you know what I'm saying? Because he might feel like, well, shoot, he got it. Some men want to start early. And I'm not gonna take that away from him. Man, but
please. Start early. Right? Draya and went in there and put that lock on, buddy.
That's the thing. We gonna see what's really good with that.
Child support coming. That's what you finna see.
Well,
child support, man. That girl ain't in love, man. Come on, man. You can tell when she. Come on, man. I ain't even got a picture for her. You can tell how she smiling in the little paternal shoot.
So wait, are they like supposed to be officially in a relationship?
Man, it don't even matter. She good. It don't matter what terms they on.
What I'm saying though is like what I'm saying.
I think they supposed to be in a relationship.
He could have felt like, dang, yeah, there could have just been a situation that they turned into like, let's just have this season together of life. Why people gotta, people don't always have to be committed. So would you be down,
if you were 50 years old, would you date a 20-year-old?
I don't know.
That means yes.
I wouldn't date a 20-year-old for like marriage or anything like that. I would
just to have fun.
Yeah. Especially if he was in that same space too, and we had an understanding, and I wouldn't allow, certain things, of course I would take preventative measures. I wouldn't get a 21-year-old pregnant. I wouldn't, get pregnant with a 20-year-old. I mean, nah. That's my personal choice because I want to have children with the man that I'm going to be with. But that don't mean that for her, just to have a child with someone that you just feel connected to and that you care about, it's a thing. It's a thing. But, he is young.
Right.
And the reality is he's probably, definitely has a lot to experience, when it comes to like having a family dynamic, especially being that young, and how it takes a really disciplined, like, man to do that. So, I hope that he does get the support that he needs, but ultimately, we gonna see. She could be that person that's leading him into a more discipline, like teaching him in a way that
no.
I mean, teaching him in a way that he likes. He found a teacher that he likes.
Yeah, she's finna teach him. All right, she damn so finna. She damn
that he likes.
She damn so about to teach him. Well, condom. That's about to be his biggest lesson. All right, we finna get him
that too.
Hey, I'm gonna leave that alone, man. I'm gonna let y'all have that, but come on, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. Y'all know what it is. She talking all this girl power over here, but it sounds like she just celebrating her sister then hit a lick. No. Just go and say, good, get your money and go about your business.
Girl, get your dollar.
There you go.
Get that bag.
There you go. Cardi B out here Cardi B, these fans, these people out here beating the ganging up on Cardi B so bad, she had to go buy some Coach bags. That's crazy because it's like,
why? I don't understand why rich people be caring about what broke people got to say.
Bro, it is. I do not understand it too. Like,
I would never get that.
We allow people that don't know that don't know us to have way too much power over our life. You know what I'm saying?
I don't give a crap what you said. Boy, get a bag. See, I don't know.
Yeah, because, she put out the light, wet freestyle, and, the bar in there is like a coach bag, baby, this ain't what you want. So people are like getting on her like, oh, how dare you say something about Coach? And whoop, whoop, whoop. And so ever since then, every day I just see Cardi B saying like, oh, no, nothing wrong with Coach. And I love Coach. And she kind of cop a plea and brought Cameron into it. He said back in 98, 2002 on one of his old songs about Coach Bass. And she posting video, I'm about to go out Coach shopping. And like, that's good if it's strategic to get a brand deal with Coach. But if you doing all that, bitch, just because you worry about people saying in the comments, man, like, we gotta stop this, man. Do you wear Coach?
No.
At what point in your life you start wearing Coach? Because I feel like every woman had that Coach era.
Yeah, everybody had a Coach bag.
Come on now, don't act like you didn't have a Coach or Ed Hardy.
And I had a really, 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 really nice Coach bag when I was like 18, 19, and my grandma bought me.
Did you have an Ed Hardy purse too? Even if it was from flea market?
I had Ed Hardy like t-shirts, so I didn't do the purse thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I had I love that Coach purse, but I mean, I feel like as a brand, it's Coach, but it's a style. I mean, put like this: she said what she said in her song, and she meant it a certain way. Period. And you heard between the lines, you heard it,
right?
And Coach is seen as that brand where you go through your teenage years, but you grow into other like styles and
right.
different, especially like exclusive designers and stuff like that. It's like that commercial brand that like, everyone can have access to. And I like that, you know what I'm saying? Versus, I don't think like young girls, especially if you can't afford to, you young in college and shit like that, and you can't really afford to pay your bills, and you over here spending your last on a $500 purse. Like, no, that ain't where the bag at for real.
Right.
But so Coach is one of those that it can be affordable. You'll find you a nice little it's just for me, not always like the highest quality all the time. Like, so yeah, you start to grow into different, look into different styles and other different brands, and but ain't nothing wrong with Coach. It's a rite of passage, I believe. Like, I really do feel like every young lady experiences her Coach time, because I loved my little Coach bag until it wore out, and then when it wore out, I just had to give it up.
Hey, man, I ain't got no problem with Coach bags, man. I sold bootleg Coach bags for years, and it paid my rent. And it paid my rent. Them bootleg Coach bags paid my rent for years, man. I lived good off them bootleg Coach bags in front of flea market, man. Shout out to Coach, man.
Nah, Coach it's a rite of passage.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. Mm-hmm. So you saying like that's like your broke purse?
No, it's a rite of passage. Like when
people say rite of passage, that sounds like this is what you get when you broke.
No, it's one of those like one of the first purses that you get as like a young girl. Like when you start getting into like your purses, it's like Coach is one of the first that you're gonna like get into. Yeah, you're gonna run past Coach. They will have like I've always seen Coach have like nice exclusive designs and things like that. Like outside of their original, style that they do, they'll come out and pop out with a few, just nice, different, special customized, designs. And, you want to explore it, but you graduate. You graduate. It's a rite of passage, though. It's definitely a rite of passage.
Okay.
But we gonna show
rite of
love
passage
to Coach.
Bag, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my listeners, man. They're rocking Coach bags, man. Get your Coach bag, baby.
Coach bag.
Rock your bag. And Cardi B, you ain't gotta explain nothing to nobody, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Cardi B, you know damn well
stand on it.
Yeah, man, stand on business, Cardi B. You know damn well you ain't got no Coach bag in You ain't got number of Birkin bags over there in that closet.
Y'all already done.
No, damn well you ain't got no Coach bags in that closet, man. Stop capping, Cardi B. I love you though. I love. Did you like the like what freestyle? Like what? Like a cold bad baby. This is what you want. Did you hear it?
I mean, I heard little bits and parts of it from TikTok. The thing that they're trying to ban.
Okay. That came back full circle.
Right. I heard little snippets of it. You know, people be doing their little freestyle impersonations. Right. I would love to see. And you know, I think she's consistent. Like Cardi is definitely consistent. I appreciate that. But she's also like building her way in her lane. And I don't feel like the track for me has shown like growth per se when I say growth meaning like maturity, but definitely she has grown in like her delivery. She's grown in how to like, you know, flow with what she wants to say. You know, like the technical aspects of rapping, you could see that she's getting in more of being, you know, her craft of learning how to perfect where she is. But as far as that open, like that new, I don't know, that new revelation type music, like I don't feel that yet from her, but I do feel like she has the potential to get there if she stays consistent with her craft. But, you know, right now she's talking and she's speaking where she's at. And I'm sure that as we continue to see more work from her, we'll see how she progresses. But she is still like a beginning artist. Like, you know, you got people who's been in this game who's really like gone into the, you know, I guess like the technical side, but more so like the details of music, not just like putting together a project. Now you getting into album mode. Now you getting into actual like seeing what full on production where you start to get to know every part of your music. And that's to me what a true artist is. They not just there to put on, you know, a show, which don't get me wrong. You have some who are just good with that. And they love that. They love just putting on a show. But from, you know, especially the history of rap, like, you know, people really knew like their almost every components of a music when it comes to mic engineering. You know what I'm saying? A true musician, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? An artist that has like legacy energy. They're gonna put that, and I feel like she wants that, so she can build towards that. But I haven't seen that yet. Like I said, she getting sharper. You know, I could hear like the production quality is getting. It's getting more precise and with more precision. But as far as like the style and the vibe and the feels from it to get me like, ooh, what she got to say? Right, you know, right now, I don't, you know, truthfully feel that just as of yet, but it does have potential to get there as she just gains, you know, even more confidence in where she's at and able to open up more spaces and experiences in herself where she could actually like, you know, release that. But, you know, it's just, I think I'm in my mind, I might be comparing her to like a Kendrick Lamar. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Who? Kendrick? I mean,
no, I'm saying comparing her in a sense, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when I listen to Kendrick Lamar, it's just like,
well, they gonna
you know,
eat
you
you
about
up.
to,
they gonna eat you up in the comments about that one.
No, I'm just saying, it's just like, you know, you about to grow up. You about to grow up. Right. When you listen to some Kendrick Lamar, you about to grow up. True, you know what I'm saying? True. So, you know, I'm holding her to a high standard is what I'm pretty much saying. I ain't saying that she there, but like she has the potential to reach there, but she got to work for it. She got to work for it. Everybody got to work for it.
Check runners.
So I'm trying to figure out why is it's starting to look a certain type of way. I'm noticing a pattern the past couple weeks, man. Antonio Brown, aka AB, he been just trolling and just clowning everybody on Twitter and on social media lately, you know. So now he clowning LeBron James because LeBron James was at a game and these two white women were sitting beside him and just steady grabbing on him, leaning on him, and it just looked kind of crazy, I must say. So AB put out a meme of LeBron James. It looked like he in the middle of like a porn set and it called He Got Game too. But my whole thing is, it's a couple things wrong with this. why are these white women on LeBron this hard in public? And this is a married man. And another thing, why does AB got this much time on his hand that he got to speak on everything going on? At this point, he need a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
He don't need a podcast.
Oh, no, he don't. Cause
he really don't.
Oh, man, he really gonna go crazy.
That's what I'm saying. He's just gonna be talking to crowd just to be talking.
Yeah, because it's like a couple weeks ago, he was still talking about smashing Tom Brady's wife. And so
he gonna be getting people hurt and people mad, and ain't nobody got time for that. Like,
yeah, but besides him trolling LeBron, man, how you feel about, Bron, having this conversation courtside with these two white females and they just all up on him? Like, both of them, like, they cannot keep their hands off of this man. If you see the video, man, I'm going to show you the video right quick so you can speak on it, so you can know what I'm talking about, man. It just look crazy, man. So, from your perspective as a black woman, speak on that, man, because, we really can't, when you at LeBron level, you can't have that type of, energy around you, man, because it leads to these type of conversations. I got so much respect for LeBron, so I'm not gonna assume anything, but the average person gonna look at this and be like, oh yeah, Bron probably didn't took these two chicks back to the room, or, you know what I'm saying? It just leaves way too much room for speculation.
I mean, he could either be on some, I know I'm innocent, so I don't give a,
Right.
Or he just really just forgot for the moment that, like, people really just, like, gonna make up narratives and stories because I'm in the public eye and people see me and are paying attention to every little thing that I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I just feel like either you can take it for what it is. I mean, I doubt a man like LeBron, let's just say if there was a mistress, I don't think he would be like out hanging out with, you know what I'm saying? Just be openly disrespectful. I don't see that being a man of his character at all. Like, him just being openly disrespectful. I think for a moment he could either have just forgot, like, damn, I'm a public figure. I mean, he's a human being. Right, you know what I'm saying? Or, he was just like, well, these are ladies. I'm, a star. At the end of the day, people are gushing over me all the time.
Right.
And I don't give a crap what you think, like, as long as I'm chilling. Because that's like giving some, like, I'm innocent. Because he knows, especially with him being seen and, even heard of as a noble man, like, he ain't gonna just openly disrespect his queen like that. I don't see that.
Because at the end of the day, like, Bron was just talking. He was chilling. Like, they the ones that couldn't keep their hands off him.
You can see, but he's the basketball star. And at the end of the day, you're going to have some people who don't know boundaries.
There you go.
Who don't understand boundaries. I mean, nobody's talking about them. Like, why are you touching a married man like that? You don't see that?
Right. It look crazy.
They look crazy. They look crazy for that. They know. And they know his reputation. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But once again, they could have just been caught up in the gush of him and being around him and forgot about the fact that, like, people are paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, you got to get yourself together.
You ever been married? You ever been married?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Nah.
You want to be married? Or you just want to be free and just live your life? Single?
Well, I have a thing where I feel like I want to be married, right? Okay. So I can have some babies and really, like, settle in.
You want babies too?
Oh yeah, I want babies.
How many kids you want?
I want like 3.
Okay.
Like 3. All right, but I say this. Hold on. But if I end up marrying and I find out that it's not what I want, I am willing to, like,
go get you a 22-year-old NBA player.
Not a 22-year-old. No.
No.
But Just allow myself to live and explore the other loves of my life until and date freely. I mean,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? People meet different people along their journey, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna keep myself stuck in a situation. But if I'm marrying because like I feel like you are my like partner person. Because I wouldn't mind having a person that I can be consistent with. But we change, we grow, and I know like 10 years ago, the things that I thought I wanted at 20, I'm looking at myself now. I'm like, oh, yeah. So who knows in 10 years when I'm going to look at, or 50 years, and if you and that person are not changing in ways that are still compatible together, then it's just like, oh, we just going to stay together for the kids. We just going to stay together because the dynamic and everything we bought. No, get true happiness. Life is too short not to be out here really being in the things you love, connecting with the people you love. Like, it's too short. It's too short. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, we gonna be, having grayed out hair all over and, with canes and glasses, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, we gonna age. And you wanna feel like I'm living and not be in regret because you wasted. Because we can hear a lot of these our grandmothers and grandfather stories, and how they did things just because of how the way it was done, but that's not really what their heart choice was. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff was done out of survival.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, man, if grandmama lived in this era right here, and granddad was coming home with all these little side babies, man, a lot of y'all mamas would not be born.
Pretty much.
Because back in those days, women, they wasn't even allowed to work. So it's like, I hate when women be trying to compare this right now to grandmama, when grandmama was coming up. Grandmama wasn't even allowed to legally work a job.
They don't even have a bank account until like the 70s.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like all of these accomplishments women out here achieving, and hurdles these women out here jumping over. You still got women like, oh, I just want to sit at home and be a housewife. And why do you want to be a housewife and your man work at damn Walmart or something? Like, no disrespect to nobody that work at Walmart, but I'm just saying, like, that man is obviously
he
not
making paper.
There you go. He not in a financial situation to take care of you to be a housewife. You don't
need, in this society, and then it's unfortunate that you can't live off of low salaries, but reality is that's just what it is. So yeah, she well aware that this man is on a low salary and choosing to. I mean, the reality is a lot of women just want to be taken care of. True, but you got to be that standard and quality of a man to even, I think, to be with a man who even can take care of you, because you got it too where a woman may drain a man's pockets. You know what I'm saying? She gets together with a man and he's got a lot of things going on, business, finance, organization, things like that. I mean, we kind of, spoke on a little bit with a certain situation, Wingstop. Okay. But, yeah, but, they come to your life and they may not have like the tools that you need to maintain and even grow as a man. And they end up like being a disruptance, being a distraction, and like, being a leech in a sense, drainage of energy, you know what I'm saying? So they're not able to contribute to that man, help that man manage, build that man up. So they end up like breaking him down. And it's not like something, I'm sure, that's done consciously, like on purpose, but it's just like you don't got the tools. You're not equipped to handle a man of this stature to keep him going. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, like, kings and queens, they like made sure that when they were courted amongst themselves, because they knew like what the standard it took. If you have, and it's no offense to like, but that's just the way of life. If you have the farmer girl, who wasn't raised around royalty, and then now you're bringing her into, royalty, is going to be one of those things where you got to teach her. Not saying she can't learn, but it's just like, that's not her training to be that type of woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and especially when it comes to his matters, she would be the student always in that situation.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
talk that talk.
Yeah, I'm I'm just looking at how, like, we have to just know our standard of what we really dealing with and be honest with ourselves, you know, about that. Because, like, it's great. It's like I said, it's unfortunate that the man can't live off of a Walmart, you know, salary. But we live in a day and age where paper, you know, and I say paper meaning like you got to have resources in order to live a quality life. You know what I mean? In America, there are other places you can go that, you know, you can live for a lot, you know, later, but we in America, we talking America right now.
Hey, if we live together, say me and you in a relationship, we live together, what do you feel like our roles are in that relationship?
It all depends on how much money is on the table. Because if you
I make 80,000, you make 75,000. What
75?
we make the same thing. We both make 80,000. So we got 160 coming into the crib. What do you feel like our roles are?
Well, I'm sure are we making this money passively where we have time around the house? Like, what does that look like?
Nah, we work regular jobs and we got halfway decent careers. So we make 80,000. Like what are our
like 9 to 5s?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we bringing in 160K, I know on my days off, let's say that's the weekend, right?
Right.
Well, we need a cleaner to come once a month because on my days off, I need to rest and I need to reset.
But what are our roles though?
Oh, that's cool. What I'm saying.
Like,
okay, look,
that's what I'm
saying. Like as a woman, I would need that. Because of course you want us to look good and you want us to be good, right? Mm-hmm. Your job would be, I don't know, 50-50 is, I want to say in bills is not something that I'm like aiming for. I feel like as a man, you know, if you want to take care of our housing, living situation, well, we put our money together. We use it for different things. You know, I could be like for the vacation and, you know, as a woman, I'm like thinking about like the nurturing aspect, you know, of our relationship, of our dynamics. So when it comes to gatherings and, you know, creating like meaningful moments in the life that I could go ahead and make investments into that while you're taking care of like the structure and the security of like protecting, you know, like us in our salvation, which it comes from our home life to, you know, the things we need to grow into best people, you know, and I think things like that. But yeah, like at that point we a team, you know, we do that together. But I do feel like the man definitely has more of like listening to the women, but you making the final word. Because I do feel like a lot of the wisdom comes from a woman. Like you sit down and you tell us your problems. Well, a wise woman. I mean, not say that. A wise woman. You're going to sit down. You're going to tell your problems to her. And you're going to talk. And she's going to give you like, especially if she's there to build you up, she's going to give you those key. Like that key. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, a wise woman also, you know, is going to want you to lead and make the right decision, you know, to an extent, intuitively, but for like from your logic and understanding of how it's actually going to like be in the world. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of heartfelt, you know, this intuitive messages that come through that allows us to know like, okay, this is what we should do. That's what we should do, like how to flow. But that doesn't always mean it's the right track. You know what I mean? For what we need to do. I feel like the masculine is like really big on like setting the direction, setting the tone of where something goes. Because as women, we're just natural creators. You put us in any environment, we gonna find a way to love it. If you're a woman, you know what I'm saying? I've loved all types of men in my life, you know, and that comes from like me just being able to love, being able to just have that, you know, be a woman, you know. So a man, y'all got to be the one to lead that chaos a little bit, you know, put your foot ground and be like, all right, babe, this is the plan. And then we like, okay, let's make it happen. Like, that's like what I feel like like a cheerleader. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. You do have some women who are more in their masculine that want to lead and, you know, And kudos to them, because then for them, they'll match good with a dude who's more his feminine, where he likes to be more of the nurturer of the home and more into the sensitive and family matters. You know what I'm saying? While a woman is more like logical. You do have that too.
Right.
You do have that too. But personally, I like to stay in the feminine because, like, yeah, I'm small. I don't want to be the one trying to like put a painting on the wall. Like, I'm sure I can. I've lived by myself. So there's a lot of things that I've done by myself and know that I'm capable of taking care of myself and doing all the things that I need to do for myself. But if you have a man, like, why is he not doing it?
Can you submit? Can you see yourself submitting to a man that has no income coming in and you make more money and you really taking care of the house financially for a year?
No. Wait. I spoke too soon. Did this man bring in income before this year?
Yeah.
So he was bringing in income?
He was bringing in income, but, you know, he came on a little rough patch. Can you submit to this man? For a whole year, you got to hold the crib down. You got to pay all the bills while he trying to figure it out. Can you still submit to that man while he trying to figure it out?
As long as he's trying to make progress and I can see that he's making progress and he's not being stagnant, we good. But if I see that, like I said, I think a year is a good time frame. But if I see like you ain't doing nothing, you depressed, you're on the couch, you just like, you know what I mean? I mean, a couple month or two, you know what I'm saying? Let people go through the emotions. But if you see that it's gonna be becoming a consistent habit where there is no change happening, I'm not about to like, I'm not. Because then my thing is, why are you so comfortable, you know, not showing up if you know that we need to show up for? Now, if it's one of those things that like he just really needs time to rest, it all depends too on communication. Because if he's needed time to rest, let's say, you know what I'm saying, and we're in a good financial position where, you know, what I do is able to cover and handle everything, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'd be open to that. But it all depends on what that real intention is. And if I don't see the results based off what that conversation looks like or sounds like, nah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Because one thing, I don't care how much money I have. I feel like part of a man's like, and then I'm not going to say identity, but part of his like rite of passage is to be able to show that he's able to gather the property, like the aspect of gathering, whether it's like, you know, getting money or getting connections or whatever the case might be, but just being a gatherer, like to be able to, you know, provide. Yeah. And it's more so for himself first. Like, you know, you got to provide for yourself. You got to feed yourself. So it's just like, if you always wanting a mama around type of energy, then it's just like, you're not really showing yourself your worth of who you are, like really and truly. And I think that ends up happening a lot, where a lot of guys, they start to get in relationships with women and who aren't financially like doing, and it starts to become like a mama-son relationship. You know, it's just like, no, you show, like, provide for yourself, like big up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be a man for yourself. I think that's so important. Now, how much he makes is something negotiable. If I make more than him, you know, but he's making good money, like, okay. But he's, you know, I need to see that a man is like able to take care of himself. That if I wasn't in his life, he would be able to like sustain. And not saying that he would start from scratch, but knowing that he even has the capacity to build wealth, to build, you know, to hustle. He got, you know, he's able to go out there and gather. I mean, this is survival of the fittest out here. You know, we talking about, I'm a spiritual person, but I'm also on earth where like we didn't get here by not the as far as like the strongest animals and breeds to get here, didn't get here by being passive. We didn't. We had to really like get it out here. We had to make something out of nothing. Now we're starting to learn how to do things more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the use of technology and things like that. But Yeah, you still got to be the strongest to survive. Even when it comes to mental aspects, now is about mental health. You know what I'm saying? And right now, this really what's going on. People going mad because of their brain, not because of anything else.
Right.
So it's like, if you're not strong in that, you're going to see all these Alzheimer's and diseases coming up with the memory and the brain and all that crap coming up. It's happening.
Right.
It's happening.
Facts.
It's happening. So,
hey man, big salute to everybody, man, out there, man. My bad, man. Let me give a quick shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. Without him, there would be no me. Big salute to everybody over there listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everybody watching over there on YouTube, man. I appreciate y'all. If I don't comment on you if you comment and I don't reply just yet, just be patient with me. I'm gonna get around to you because I try to interact with all y'all and kick it with y'all in the comments when I can, man. And I appreciate y'all for watching us, man. But before we go, man, we coming to the end of an era, man. Bree, we coming to the end of an era, man. They just announced that Macy's, this major chain clothing store, Macy's, will be closing nearly 150 stores due to declining sales, man.
Yeah, the brick and mortar is dying.
No.
Dang.
Macy's, man.
Dang.
That's why Macy's, like, I used to get all my cologne from Macy's, man. That is so sad. And that just lets you know how crazy, how bad of a shape the economy is in right now. Because you would not think in a million years that Macy's would not be making money.
Right.
So that go to show you, like, people just not really spending money like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like they're not going to the mall like that. It's online shopping. You gotta understand, before online shopping, people had to go to the mall.
Right.
You had to go. So those same people that were going to the mall every day swiping their cards, they can now do it from the comfort of their bed inside of their tub with bubble bath and a glass of wine. Like, who's going to, when you have that comfort and you just got to pay for a little shipping? Well, you're already paying, whatever you're paying. So shipping is just like a little tip, You're like, okay.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate the convenience that that online shopping has provided to us, but I ain't gonna lie, like, I kind of miss going out to the mall.
I love it. I love thrifting, especially like when you thrifting, because for me, I need to see what the material feel like. I like to smell on it, just get like a little relationship with it going. So, and just the aspect of seeing different things in person, because even when you buy stuff online, you're not really able to connect to it completely like if it was in front of you. Right. So I love it, but you gotta understand, we're dealing with an era or, a couple generation of children who grew straight into the online shopping world. So that was never something that they got to appreciate, the luxury of really just going to the mall. Yeah. Maybe it may be something they may want to experience early when they just later on when they feel like, they just want to check it out and learn something. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, what they know first, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of these folks' first purchase was probably done online versus in a mall, in the store, versus us. Our first purchase was in the store. In the store.
And I remember, like, Macy's was one of those stores growing up. You be like, man, I can't wait till I get my money up so I can shop in Macy's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This was an era where you go in Macy's, all of the black brands was in there. The Sean Johns was in there.
They represented it. They did represent.
Like, we had a huge representation in our culture in Macy's, and that was dope to see, and I grew up in the hood and in the country, so if you grew up like how I grew up, it was good to see those type of representations in a clothing store chain as big as Macy's, man. So that was dope, man. So for like for them to be closing down 150 stores, man, that's not nothing to sneeze at, man. Because 150 stores, man, that's a lot of locations.
I mean, if it financially makes sense, would you?
Right.
Because if they online store making more money than them people going into, and you got to think about overhead charges when you're doing brick and mortar. You got to think about them overhead charges. You got to think about, that parking lot. You got to think about paying employees to be there to run it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guide people, because you're gonna have to have a lot more people in there than you do inside of an online store, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about, all them overhead. It's just like having another house for your business. That's just a whole nother mortgage, a whole nother investment that if you could take out that cost from having an online platform.
Okay.
You're going to cut that cost. I feel like where these bigger corporations are doing, which, I want to say if they're not tired or have grown fatigue of the process of the game, let me say more so that, then they just converting themselves into how to be more lucrative to what they know works. They hiring the experts. And
True.
The experts are tech savvy. And that's something they figured out, because I can tell you one thing, they may have closed stores, locally. For us. It's more for us in our childhood. We crying about it. But for them, when they looking at it, they like, well, shoot, my expert is telling me, put out these newsletters so that I could reach people faster and get people to buy this, sell online real quick. You know what I'm saying? They gonna hop on that. And because Macy's ain't slow down with the emails, I can tell you that.
Right.
I'm subscribed.
Yeah, they definitely not slow down with the emails.
They ain't slow down with the emails. Matter of fact, they gonna remind you of a sale every other day. So,
and then it be mad stuff that you can't get in the store. They be like, hey, you gotta go online and we'll send it to you.
Exactly. And you can get more exclusive things online. And it makes it too where people who do shop online, they're more definite of their choice versus in the store. They feel more of a luxury to give it back or whatever the case might be. When you buy something online, you gonna have to, you made a choice. Most of the time when you shopping, you really went back and forth on that choice. You know what I'm saying? So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They going, like I said, if they haven't grown fatigue as just wanting to be part of the game, period, which I don't see, they just converting over into a more lucrative space where they can continue to grow and sustain more so as a company versus like just wasting having money go down the drain. I mean, it don't matter when you whether it's 100K, 10K, it don't matter. When you losing money, you losing money.
Right, man. Hey, man, big salute to all the little makeup artists that be working up in Macy's too, man.
Yeah, and then you got makeup. I forgot about the makeup artists,
man. And them be like the biggest freaks. You got
all the employees that are like,
Them be like the biggest freaks too, man. Like some of the best, like, I ain't even gonna get into all that, man. Big salute.
Check runners.
Big salute to y'all, man. MUA. Now?
Are you not entertained?
Oh my God, man. Dude.
No good.
All right, before we get up out of here, you got anything you want to promote, please?
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to my baby, Celestial Goodies. We are a holistic care company, self-care company. I have a plant-based hair removal and like fresh oils, toners, rose water, everything that assists with like your skincare routine and also helping with like ingrowns and hair, just keeping our lady parts nice and smooth. But you can check out the website on www.celestialgoodies with the Z.com. Just come join and see what we got natural for you, and other than that, I just want to give, always the love of just love and take care of yourself the best way you can, and do, keep your mind just as clean as you do with your body, because everybody just has emphasis, especially with social media, about how things look and appear. It's just like, man, keep your mind clean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep your heart good. Pay attention to the things that actually matter. Like, be present. I think me and you was talking about that when we come in, like, just being present, be here right now. Like, we literally have time just going. We have all these things to talk about other people, and people getting blown up across the other side of the world, children getting blown up, on the other side of the world. It's just like real things are happening.
Right.
But we forget, because America has cuddled us into this space where we just like observe, everything has its good and its bad, but it's definitely an aspect where we just got into everybody's business, because we really, things are hard, but, we still have a level of comfort that doesn't really show us how hard things can get.
Right. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, man.
So,
got a website?
present.
You got a website?
Yeah, I told them www.celestialgoodies.com. Come check us out. Come shop with us. We definitely are tapped into the plant-based, community. We're tapped into just natural, good herbs and products that you are familiar with, that helps you just live your best life and give you time to really enjoy the aspects of self-care, because self-care is not selfish. It's self-perseverance.
Okay, I like that, man. Before we go, right quick question.
Mm-hmm.
It said me and you just met 3 days ago, right? And we talked, and I said I want to send you lunch money. What is the proper amount of lunch money should I send you for you to be okay? Like, okay.
For 3 days ago?
We just met 3 days ago. 2 days ago.
So you really don't know how I eat for lunch?
I have no idea. What.
All right. Because you don't know how much I be spending for lunch. All right.
Yeah. So what is a great amount for you? A decent amount for you to be like, okay, cool.
35, 40.
35, 40.
For like a quick little lunch.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm really going to like the 40-50 side. I was trying to be cute about it, but I feel like 40-50 is a nice, like, enjoy your lunch. Like, it's telling me, like, enjoy your lunch. You know what I'm saying?
And that's because
you get a nice salad.
That's because you plant-based, because you don't eat meat, correct?
Yeah, but I could get a salad, soup, and a dish, and I might have, like, be able to get something to go.
Okay, because this young lady just went viral, recently she was complaining because a guy sent her $30 for lunch, and she was like, damn, why you ain't send $100? And they eating her up online.
I mean, I feel like she only known him for 3 days?
I don't know how she ain't known him for that long. I think they probably had just met the day before from how she talking.
I don't like she. It sounds like in this case, honestly, she was just being rude, because at the end of the day, like, the dude gave her something. He could have gave her nothing, truly. And if that's all he had to give, then that's all he had to give. Now, if it was one of them situations where he's normally giving, 100 every day, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he and then something changed out of the normal order of, what or she knows that she eats expensive lunches, put it like that.
Right.
Whatever the case might be. Or she's that type of woman that, then, yeah. But at the end of the day, it sounded like she was just on some ungrateful.
Ungrateful vibes.
It gives ungrateful vibes. It gives you think you expecting something when this is where I'm at and you're not accepting it. But I mean,
okay. Before we go, name 3 things that a woman can do that just shows she ungrateful towards a man that's trying to, like, genuinely put in effort to show he's interested in her. What are 3 things she can do that just automatically would just make her seem ungrateful?
That would make her seem ungrateful.
Yeah.
I mean, is she interested in the dude?
Somewhat. But we living in an era where people try to base off how they feel about a guy based off what he does for her. You know.
I mean, if we living in that culture, because I mean that ain't my culture, but if we living in that culture, where she wants to see what he can do for her, and
all that nonsense.
She could be, and I would say that, like, complain about his gifts, or like what he gives more so.
Okay.
Especially if, it's one thing to be like, this is not my standard, and just recognize that and move on. But it's another thing to like tell that to a person, and this is what this man got, and
right.
Like, that's ungrateful. It's just like, damn, that man, he likes you, and this is a beautiful gesture that he's able to show you. Because I don't believe in shooting a man down or anything like that, like to like hurting his ego. Like, I think we here to still build each other up. Now, whether or not we supposed to go the long run or whatever, we'll find that out. But I think that's one way of being ungrateful. Another way, not appreciating his time, as far as like respecting his time, especially when he is around, doing other things while he's around, not really giving him like, just the courtesy of a human being. Like, I think that's disrespectful, and that can come off ungrateful.
Okay.
And let me see the last one.
If that's all you got, that's cool.
No, I mean, I feel like complaining about like what a man gives, not respecting his time, and feeling entitled to being served all the time. So like feeling like, which there's nothing wrong with serving each other, especially as a woman. I feel like you should be treated like a goddess, for sure. However, there are the moments where women feel overly entitled to a man and don't allow that individuality. And I feel like that can be like ungrateful, because this person also needs time to process. This person also is a person outside of his role to you. You know what I mean? So feeling entitled to him, in a possessive way, I think. Okay. It's like being ungrateful.
I like that, man. Hey, I appreciate you for coming through here, man. I enjoyed this.
I did.
I can literally go another hour with you, for real.
I did. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got to come back.
It's actually my first podcast.
Yeah, see, and you killing it. I couldn't even tell. You know what I mean?
I was so nervous. I was like, ooh, okay.
You like you've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? And then, I'm the type of person, I'm always alley hoop you. You know what I'm saying? And like walk and hold your hand through the process.
You did good
to get you right.
I feel my hand was held.
Yeah, I got you, man. That's why I said this is a safe space. It's so safe over here.
Like, creating safe spaces, y'all.
Creating safe spaces.
Right.
It's so safe. So imperishable. Impenetrable.
Check.
Hey, man, we gone. But always remember, when you do what you do it like you're doing it for TV. And we gone. You bitch, yee. Aye.
Check. Runners.